another video. Today I am transporting you to Hawaii, to the Caribbean, to Mexico, to a tropical location. Wherever you like going, that is where we are going today. So I am going to be showing you this dewy, luminous, glowing makeup look, and then I am going to pair that with two easy, breezy, beachy outfits that are perfect for vacation or date night or a dinner out. Whatever you have, it is perfect for that. So whether or not you are staying at home or you have a vacation coming up, I hope this video inspires you. So if you do want to see how I achieved this beachy, glowing, luminous makeup look without the sun, then please keep watching. Alright, so before I get into this makeup look, I did want to say that my hair is already finished and I did these beachy like waves, and I do have a video on this, so I will link it down below so you can check that out if you are interested, because for this type of look I love beachy loose waves, and also waves that aren't perfect, so not perfectly coiled around, just like loose voluminous texturized hair. And also I did want to mention these two products that I picked up this past weekend from the brand Palmer's, and I've never used any of their facial products, but I have used their body lotions and they smell delicious like coconuts, and these two products also have coconut in them. So the first one is this coconut water facial moisturizer, and I love this. It's perfect under makeup because it's lightweight and it does have kind of like a bouncy gel-like consistency to it, if you can see that. So it's really fun. I've never had a product like this before, and it was under $10 at Walgreens, and I absolutely love it. It's perfect for summer too because it is on the lighter side, so it's not super heavy, not super greasy, and it sits very well under your makeup. And then the second product is the Coconut Manoi Luminous Hydration Facial Oil. And I have been using this at night, but today I'm experimenting and I did put it on. That's why my skin is a little more luminous than usual and glowing more than usual. And I did also combine it with the facial moisturizer. But if you did watch my skincare video, you know that I love facial oils. I use them on a daily basis, but I have never tried a coconut oil on my face, so I'm curious to see how it works out. So far, so good, and I've used it since Friday. So it's been quite a few days and I haven't noticed any negative effects. If anything, I've noticed my skin is definitely more luminous and glowing, which is exactly what we want for this look. All right, so to get started, I'm going to start out with the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I've been using this a lot, but as you can see, not too much is missing because I'm only focusing it on my T-zone and oily spots. So I take very little, about that much on my finger, and then I kind of warm it up in between my fingers, and then I'm just going to pat it onto my T-zone in the areas that get more oily than others, because we still want some of that luminosity and shine to show through, so I don't want to cover it all up. And I definitely focus it more on my nose because I think with everyone, their pores are probably bigger on their nose. So that is all I'm going to do for primer. And then moving on to foundation, I have actually been mixing two foundations. And so one of them is the CYO foundation and the other one is the Smashbox Studio Skin 15-Hour Wear Hydrating Foundation. I have talked about both of these. I love them and they look so good together. So I'm going to use these two today. So I'm going to do just on the back of my hand 2 pumps of the Smashbox. And if you're interested, I'm wearing shade 1.2 in the Smashbox, and then do 1 pump of CYO, and this is in the shade 102. And then I'm just going to kind of mix those together with my finger. And then the most important part of this look to me is the actual base itself, and like the bronzer and blush, and then the eyes are kind of second to that, because you kind of want an easy look, especially if you're on vacation and you're trying to get somewhere more quickly. You want your eyes generally take a little longer than your face, so you want something that is quick and easy. And then I'm just going to go in with my Real Technique sponge and get a little bit from the back of my hand, and then working my way out from the center towards the outer edges of my face. And this foundation goes on super well. It definitely is hydrating, but it's not oily, which is really important. And my skin is normal to combination. Right now it definitely has more oiliness in my T-zone because it is summer. So that is why I put that primer in my T-zone, on my T-zone. And just make sure that you take the foundation off your hands, because I've noticed that several times I'll go out of the house and I realize that I left that on there, so I have a big like blob of foundation. So just make sure that you wipe that off when you're finished. Alright, so moving on to concealer, I'm going to use two concealers, and the first one is of course Tarte Shape Tape. This is the shade Fair Light Neutral, and I'm just kind of going to focus it on the inner corners, and then we will blend it out in a second, and then highlight in between the brows, on the bridge of the nose, on the chin, and then I'm going to carve out my cheeks. And also on the creases of your nose, the sides of your nose, whatever that's called. Alright, and then I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. This is in the shade Light Peach. And I'm only going to put this under my eye, so just kind of extend it out from the Tarte Shape Tape. And then with the same Real Technique sponge, I'm just going to blend that out. And make sure you get way up in your inner corner so that it is highlighted and that you don't miss any redness or darkness that you have up there. So as you can see, that definitely made my under eye brighter, and I really love that look, especially when your foundation is just a little darker and your concealer is just a little brighter. It's perfect and it looks really beautiful on the skin. And then I'm going to contour a little bit with a cream contour. So the one that I really like is from Wet n Wild. This is their contour stick. Unfortunately, I don't know if any of you heard this, but Wet n Wild is not actually cruelty free. I guess they were lying about that status, so I will not be buying their products anymore, but I have had this for quite a while. It lasts for forever. I use it every single day, and as you can see, look how much I have left of it. So I'm going to go ahead and use it up, of course, but just so you know that they are no longer cruelty free. So to contour, I'm just going to go above that concealer that I placed right there, and so that you have your highlight right under your contour, so it really makes your cheekbones pop. I kind of just go about, I don't know, maybe about halfway down my cheek. And then I will contour a little bit on my nose, so just the tip. And then down the sides. And to give kind of a lifted look, I will draw a little cross right there. And also, I need to put on eyeshadow primer. So I have talked about this before also. This is the Milani eyeshadow primer in the color Nude, and it only takes a tiny bit. Place it all over my eyelid, going all the way up to the brow bone. And really getting into the inner corner too, because I am going to go in with a shimmery brightening eyeshadow shade, so we want to make sure that that's primed. Alright, so while that's drying, it takes about 30 seconds to dry. I'm going to blend out my contour and highlight. So on my nose, I'm just going to use my sponge and blend it out. And then for my cheeks, I have actually been using this brush from Eco Tools. This is the blending and bronzing brush, and it works so good for blending out the concealer and contour on your cheeks. And I do make lots of funny faces to blend this out just because it helps me see where it's at. So as you can see, that gives you a nice natural looking contour. It's nothing severe because again, you want this look to be soft and dewy and glowy and luminous, all of those keywords for this look. So I don't want any harsh lines on my face. I want everything to be seamless and blended together. All right, and now that that's set on my eyelids, I'm gonna go back in with this contour cream, and I'm just gonna kind of, not really carve out my crease, but kind of contour it just a little bit. And I will blend it out with my Real Technique sponge again. And I love these sponges. I think they're really comparable to the Beauty Blender sponges, but they are much less expensive. All right, and then for more contouring, I am going to go in with my Anastasia powder bronzer. This is in the shade Tawny. I have talked about this also before. It is a very neutral contour shade, which I love that, and it's also a beautiful bronzer. So either way you want to use it. I kind of use it as a dual purpose bronzer and contour. So, and I'm going to use an Eco Tools, what is it? I think it rubbed off. No, the Define brush from Eco Tools. And I'm just gonna kind of do the tips in it, and it is very pigmented, so I try not to dab it in there really hard. I just kind of lightly do it. And then I'm just going to kind of contour, carve, bronze all at the same time where we placed that cream contour, and work your way up. Never go down this way because it can tend to get muddy right in this area. So you always want everything to be lifted out this way. And I am going to do a little bit of contouring and bronzing on my forehead. Just make sure when you do this that you get up to your hairline, because I've made the mistake several times of not going all the way up, and then you have like white here and then you can see the bronzer here, so it's not connected or seamless looking. And I've been out like that and I've noticed it, and it does not look good. So just make sure that you go all the way up to your hairline. And then lastly, I'm going to do a little bit on my nose, just on the sides, and then a little horizontal and a little on the tip. Okay, and then I'm actually going to use one more bronzer because again, we want this to be really glowy and luminous. So I'm going to go into my Hourglass bronzer. I love this. It lasts forever. And when I say forever, I mean forever, because I've had this for I don't even know how long now, and I still have a ton of product left. I think this is the Luminous Light. This is what it looks like. It does have a bit of shimmer in it, but it's not like a glitter shimmer. It's just a nice muted shimmer. So I'm going to go in with the same Define brush. And again, this product takes very little. And on this one, I'm kind of going to go past where we put that cream contour and up onto the cheek a little bit more. And this color is kind of on the warmer side. And that's why I love the Anastasia so much, is because it's more on the neutral side, so it's more forgiving, especially if you have a lighter skin tone. But since I'm not super bronzed, but I am a little darker than usual, so I find that it works fine now. So I'm just repeating back where we put the Anastasia bronzer. And if you want, you can do a little on your jaw. And I'm just gonna bring a little bit of it down just to make sure there's no harsh lines. And then I'm gonna do a little bit under my lip. So bronzer is a really, I guess you can make it really personalized to you. So you can amp up the bronzer, you can tone it down, whichever that you like to do. I kind of like to amp it up because I like a lot of bronzer. And then I did just realize I forgot to set my under eyes. So I'm gonna go in with the Fenty Beauty powder in the Pro Filter in the shade Butter. And I'm just going to tap a little into the cap. And then I'm going to take my large Real Technique sponge and just dip the tip of it, side slash tip, into the powder. And then I'm just going to put that right under my eyes. And for this look, because we are going for more of a glowy look, I'm not going to put the powder all over my face because I still want some of that natural luminosity and glow to shine through. And then I'm going to get a little bit more powder and just go down the sides of my nose too. And also I'm going to do a little bit right on my nose because I tend to lose foundation right there. Alright, and that is all the powder we're going to use. I'm not going to let it bake there for very long. I'm just going to put it on and pretty much right away brush it off. And to brush it off, again, this is an Echo Tools brush. This is the sheer powder, and I'm just going to wipe it away. And put a little bit on my chin. All right. And then moving on to blush, I'm going to use a CoverGirl Cheekers. This is in the shade, what is the shade of this? Sierra Sand. So it looks like this. This is a really peachy, kind of neutral looking blush, so it's not overly warm. And I don't want something that's really bright, I just want something that is more muted. And I'm going to use my Echo Tools Blush Precision Blush Brush for this. And just kind of tap it in there and go from the apples of your cheeks. I'm just going to go a little bit upward. And as you can see, it does have a little bit of shimmer to it, a little bit of glow to it, but that's exactly what I want. So I love that, especially in the summer. All right, and then lastly for, is that last for face? Yeah. Lastly for face, I am going to do some highlighter or luminizer slash highlighter. So I have this from Buxom. This is their Divine Goddess Glow in Venus. I've talked about this several times. So I'm just going to take it on my middle finger and kind of dab it on my cheekbones in an upward motion. And then a little on the tip of my nose, Cupid's bow. All right, and to blend that out, I am using my Sigma F80 Air Flat Kabuki brush. It looks like this. It's really good for blending out liquid highlighters. So as you can see, I love, like from the front, you can see it, but not quite. But if you turn to the side, you can really see that glow on your cheek. And I love that, especially in pictures. It looks really, really nice. All right, and then I am gonna go in with a powder highlighter also. This is from Milani, and this is their Strobe Light in the color Afterglow. It's a really gorgeous color. I don't know how it would do on warmer skin tones. They do have, I don't know how many colors are in this collection, but I definitely love it on my skin tone. So I am taking my Echo Tools highlight brush and just kind of barely sweeping it across there, tapping it off, and following that same place where we put the liquid highlighter in an upward motion. And then a little bit above the brows. Alright, so now that that's done, I am going to go ahead and go off camera to do my brows just because they take a little bit of time. So I will come back and we will finish up eyeshadow. Okay, so I'm back. My brows are done. So now we're ready to move on to eyeshadow. So I'm actually going to be using two palettes. So the first one is the Tartelette in Bloom palette, and the look that I'm going for is kind of a neutral taupe eyeshadow look with a little bit of shimmer on the mobile lid. And then the other palette that I'm going to use is by Juvia's Place, and and this is the Nubian. All right, so to start off with, I'm going to take this Japanese brush, it's number 726. It looks like this, has a very fluffy round top, and I am going to go into the shade Charmer, which is this one right here. It is a nice bone colored shade, and that will just set the primer down and give us a nice base to work off of. And then I'm going to move into my crease, and I'm going to take my Sigma E40 brush. I love this brush. It is a tapered blending brush. And I am going to take 2 shades. So I'm going to take the shade Smarty Pants, which is a shade right here, and then also the shade Jet Setter, which is this one. I'm going to mix in both of those to throw into my crease. So to do this, I like to start in my crease, and then I will just work my way upward. And if I wasn't talking, this whole look would probably take me 15 to 20 minutes. So I think that that's pretty quick, especially for me, because I generally take longer than that. And this is a look that I use frequently, and I thought that it was a perfect tropical beachy look. And I kind of like to go a little deeper this way, like where the bridge of my nose is, working my way in that way. And then also I'm going to kind of bring it outward from the outer corner of my eye and meet up with it in my crease. Alright, and then for the pop of shimmer on the eyelid, this is my favorite part of eyeshadow. I love doing this. And the first shade that I'm going to take is the shade Funny Girl. As you can see, that's my most used shade in this palette. I love this color. It is the perfect shimmer shade. And I am going to use my finger. I just kind of, it doesn't take really that much. You could probably just press it in there once and get enough color. And then I'm just going to press that onto, as you can already see, look how much shimmer that gives you. And I'm going to take a little bit more. And just try to avoid putting it in your crease. Just focus it on the mobile lid and on the inner corner. And then repeat that on the other eye. And then if that shimmer is still not good enough for you, which it's not for me, I like to add even a little bit more. I am going to take this shade from the Nubian palette, again on my finger, and just give a little bit more shimmer to my eyelid. And that one, I'm just going to tap it solely right on the center of that mobile lid. And then I want to put a little bit on the inner corner of my eye and my brow bone. So I'm going to take this dual-ended Echo Tools brush and the side shade. And I'm just going to take the Funny Girl, just a tiny bit on the tip of it, and then place that on the inner corner of my eye, and then a little bit on the lower inner corner. And then also just a tiny bit on the brow bone. Alright, and then to blend it all together, I'm going to take those first 2 colors I started with and just lightly dip into them and blend out that crease again. Alright, and then lastly, the last eyeshadow that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Sigma Pencil E30 brush. It has a tip like this on it, so it's perfect for the lower lash line. And I'm going to take one of the shades that we use, the Jet Setter, and barely dip into it and just run that along my lower lash line. Kind of gotta put on my serious face for this. Alright, now that that is done, I am going to go in with my eyeliner. And lately for eyeliner, how I like to do it And this is the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On pencil in the shade Roach. So what I like to do is just lift up my eyelid and I will run that right in my waterline, and that is all I do for eyeliner, and it's super easy, super quick. Alright, I'm gonna go off camera to do this because it's hard to do it. I don't have a mirror right in front of me. I'll be right back. Alright, so eyeliner is on. I'm going to set everything. And then very last step is to do mascara. So I am using the Morphe Continuous Mist setting mist. I love this. It works really well and it really makes all of your makeup melt into your skin. Alright, so the mascara that I have been using lately, I love it, and it's also inexpensive. It is from, all of the products are from Essence Cosmetics. I've talked about all of these before also. So the first thing I'm going to do is the Essence Volume Booster Lash Primer. And just coat that on your lashes. And this really gives you volume. I think it also gives you length too. Alright, and then the next one, I'm going to go in with the I Love Extreme Crazy Volume. Alright, and then the last one is the False Lashes Mascara Dramatic Volume Unlimited. And then also I am going to put a little bit on my lower lashes, not all the way across. I'm just going to do it on the outer. Alright, so that does complete the mascara, and I almost forgot about lipstick, so let me go grab those and I will come back. Okay, I'm back. I did put on my lipstick. So what I used was the Milani Easy Liner for Lips in the shade Most Natural, and then I went in with the Wet n Wild Mega Last Liquid Catsuit in the shade Caught You Bare Naked, which looks like this. And then lastly, I of course went in with my Buxom lip polish in White Russian. I've gone through so many tubes of these. As you can see, this one is almost empty, so I need to go repurchase that. But that is the combo I used for my lips. Makeup is done, hair is done, and now I'm going to go ahead and put on these outfits that you see behind me and show you everything put together.
2,000 miles in an ocean away, but I see the sunrise, oh, just like the other day. Picture your eyes as I fall asleep. Tell myself it's alright, oh, as the tears roll by.
Thank you all so much for joining me for this tropical glam makeup and outfit look. Whether or not you're on vacation or in the tropics or just staying at home, I hope this look transports you to the beach on your next dinner or date night. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next Friday. Aloha.